get this together. Is this thing on? Tap, tap. Hey, what's good, Urban Mystics? It's Unique Divination, and you're tuned in to Urban Mystik TV. And, oh, excuse me, I just hit this. I am here with Full Moon in Virgo Part 2. The full moon is going to be on February 19th, February 19th, 2019. And so usually I go into what the zodiac represents underneath the full moon. So I have a part 1 for full moon in Virgo, and that pretty much explains the energy that Virgo is going to be bringing us, what we need to focus on, what we can change, correct, help, better, whatever, I don't know, under the full moon in Virgo, right? And so I want to take this time to shout out my Patreon members, okay? They support me. They allow me to do a monthly reading for them in exchange for a monthly subscription of some sort. So I just want to take this time to shout out my Patreon members because they are very special to me and I love them so much. So here we go. Latasha R. Yeah, Latasha R. Thank you for being a Patreon member, and I appreciate your support. Jordan K. Thank you for being a Patreon member, and I appreciate your support. T. Micaiah N. Thank you for being a Patreon member, and I appreciate your support. Shay M. Thank you for being a Patreon member, and I appreciate your support. Hannah K. Thank you for being a Patreon member, and I appreciate your support. Tiffany F. Thank you for being a Patreon member, and I appreciate your support. And Aquarian Alien. Thank you for being a Patreon member, and I appreciate your support. It means a lot to me. These readings that I do, depending on the tier you choose, you get a certain spread to go with that tier. And so this allows me to advance my skills, the different range of questions that you guys ask. It kind of helps me build my intuition and just kind of perfect my skills in this divination game that I'm playing here. So I love you guys so much. And like I said, I highly appreciate the support and the energy exchange that I get from my Patreon members. Okay? The second group of people that I want to acknowledge and just to say thank you and gratitude for your support is my YouTube viewership. Slowly but surely, I see that my numbers are slowly climbing up. And I appreciate, again, the people that take their time, because time is very valuable. And there are so many different channels, let alone YouTube, tarot channels. There are so many different channels to choose from. So for you guys to subscribe to me, that's very humbling, and I sincerely and humbly appreciate it. And that's why I'm over here trying to step my game up for y'all. So I noticed that when I got the new backdrop and the lighting, that I gained like almost 30 more subscribers. So YouTube, I see you guys seeing me. And that's why I said I really want to acknowledge, and I appreciate you guys so much. The 500 subscriber giveaway, I had 2 winners. They had their readings, and they're also getting product shipped out to them shortly. So for the 2 winners, just be patient. I'll get them to you, and once I send the products out, I will send you the tracking number. So shout out to the winners. Shout out to the dedication for people. Like I said, I'm just so happy that I've actually found people that vibe with me, vibe with my energy. I always kind of felt like a loner, not only for my name, Unique, that kind of separates me from people. But because of my introvertness and sometimes my socially awkward kind of behavior, and honestly, I don't even know if I'm really socially awkward. I keep saying that shit, but I don't know. I just am very selective with the people that I vibe with. But 100%, everybody that's on my channel, I fucks with all of you, and I appreciate that. So let me get into the reading. I've been just running my mouth, but I have to express my love and dedication for y'all, right? And so let me see if I can bring this view down just a little bit. All right. So I can go through what all the cards are. We've got the Thoth deck. We've got the universe. Oh, and my nails are not done. And guess what? I don't care. I've been extremely busy. So the universe has my back. God is guidance, past life, crystal healing, and chakra card. Okay? And so where do I want to go first? What do I want to get into first? So first, I want to acknowledge, because I usually just jump into the Thoth deck, but I'm going to kind of skip around right now. And I want to get into the universe has our back card, right? And it's big and plain as day, and it says joy is the ultimate creator. And so I don't know how many people can attest to this or speak to this, but I know that when I'm depressed, when I'm not happy, when I'm miserable, I can't create. I can't create in that type of environment. Okay? And so under the full moon in Virgo, we need to understand that if we don't usher in joy into our life, you're not going to be able to create anything, create any ideas. You will not be able to create because when you're depressed, when you're anxious, when you have anxiety, when you have all of these things, it blocks you from that creative ability, right? Because you're like in flight or fight mode, you're like in survival mode. You really can't think of anything else because you have anxiety, you're depressed, you're miserable, you're sad. There's no way those brain waves, are connecting, those neurons are connecting for you to be a creator. So let's remember that if we don't have joy in our life, you will not be able to manifest anything or open up any doorways or opportunities because you're vibrating on a low vibration and low frequency. And I get it, the people that are depressed, that have anxiety, that have a lot of stress. I have a severe amount of stress and anxiety on me. And I know that people handle their baggage different. But if you continue to claim to be a victim and not try to look for that silver lining, not try to find any opportunities, you're going to be stuck. So yes, people do go through depression. People do go through anxiety. People do have stress, and all these other things. But that doesn't mean that you can't work through what you're feeling and how you feel. That you can't, if you're depressed and you're laying in bed all day, that you can't make a goal to get out of the bed at least 3 times a day. To at least go sit outside on the step and get some fresh air. All right? We all have choices. Are you going to bend or are you going to fold, right? So we got to stop using our mental illness as excuses, our state of being depressed, sad, whatever. We got to put that excuse aside. And if you want to live the life that you envision for yourself, you have to vibrate on a higher frequency and a higher vibration. And so a higher frequency and a higher vibration is peace, serenity, calm, happiness, joy. All right? So that's how we starting off this reading with. So we understand that joy is the ultimate creator in our life. And if you don't have joy right now in your life, if you're like, well, my life's so chaotic, how do I even get there? How do I even get my life to the point where, I can experience some type of happiness? You have to create it. You have to make those moves. Can't nobody do it but you. You have to make the decision to stop dealing with certain people in your life. People, places, and things, not to frequent certain things. If the people are in your own house, you've got some decisions to make. They may be some very tough decisions. You may feel like there's no way out, but there's always a way out. What are you willing to sacrifice to get your joy? What are you willing to sacrifice to attain joy in your life? It's a key question, right? Next, I'm just going to go straight to continue to move towards the right. We have the Goddess Guidance card, Lakshmi, and she represents having a bright future. And Lakshmi says, stop worrying. Everything is going to be fine. And I'm going to read from the book, right, about what she is. So Lakshmi is a beautiful and benevolent Hindu goddess who brings abundance to those who call upon her. Lakshmi's connection to lotus flowers, elephants, and water represents her absolute faith in the fertility and abundance available to everyone. She's happy to bring supply to you, whether that means money, time, knowledge, or opportunity. Lakshmi works with Ganesh, the elephant-headed deity who's known as the overcomer of obstacles. Together, they're an unstoppable team that works to help you release fear and accept abundance. Now, this is already speaking to me. I work with Ganesh. So it looks like I'm going to be working with Lakshmi during this time to help me understand, to help open up opportunities and stuff like that. And for those of us who are asking how are we going to implement joy, this could be one of the ways. Invoke beautiful goddess Lakshmi. So message from Lakshmi. This is a kind of universe. Oh, excuse me. This is a kind universe, and everyone within it is working in your favor. There are no tests, blocks, or obstacles in your way except your own projections of fear into your future. Take a moment and hush your mind, quieting it from worries and fears. Feel me brush your brow with a new energy of faith, hope, and optimism. These energies fuel your exciting present time as well as all future moments. Why would you wish darkness upon yourself when light shines all around you? Step into this brightness by lightening your thoughts and feelings. You must stop worrying, as this anxiety squelches the goodness that seeks to find you. Clear your heart of fear and replace those energies with ones that will serve you and your family instead. Refuse to think of anything except your bright today and tomorrow, and I promise you that it shall be so. You and your loved ones will be protected and provided for. Let go of any bag lady fears about your future. Hold positive thoughts and intentions. Know that you'll always have your needs met now and in the future. Don't worry about money, but instead visualize abundance. Okay, so that's coming from Lakshmi. For those of us, again, we have anxiety, stress, depression, come up. And we be worrying about stuff that really we shouldn't even be worrying about. Honestly, the only thing we need to focus on is the present tense. What moves are we making now that's going to affect our future? You can think about the future, but ultimately, you can't change the future and you can't change the past. The only thing you can do is make choices in the present that are going to be a good reflection of what you want to manifest in the future. If that makes any sense. I hope I'm not confusing anybody. All right. So next we're going to move on to the past life card. As you can see it's over there all in the corner. Right there. And it represents a love life. So when we bring up any past lives in a reading, it is something that happened during this past life that is affecting you in the current life. This could be one past life, or it could be a reoccurring theme in several past lives that you've had. So there was as far as love life is concerned, in your past life, in previous lifetimes, one or more, okay, there was a painful experience that you had, maybe with a significant other. It could be the significant other that you're with now. But it's left you overly cautious to the point where you don't trust people. And this is not a good thing. So this is something that we're going to have to work on releasing. All right. But anyway, working on yourself can reopen your beautiful, loving heart. And that way you can love and be loved again. It's also likely that this card comes to you as validation that the man or woman you're romantically interested in was also a prominent person in your past life. This individual may not necessarily have been a romantic partner at the time, but your inclination to connect romantically in this life is definitely part of a greater plan. All right, so we've got two things like it stated. It stated that you've been hurt in your past life and past relationships, and it could be the person that you're with now. I do a lot of readings for people, and a lot of times things that come up, especially with past life, dealing with love and a connection to somebody, is like a cat and mouse game. In one lifetime, somebody's continuously putting you in a situation where you're in pain, you feel rejection. It's not even really love lives. It could be any relationship, a father-son relationship, mother-daughter, parent-child relationship. If there was a situation that happened between these two souls and it has not been resolved, it's going to continue with each lifetime that comes about. It's just going to continue with you and this other person, this cat or mouse game, these range of emotions that cannot be let go because they're connected to this particular soul that you keep having this reoccurring situation to. So, any feelings that you have associated with the partner that you have now, if you guys can't let go of certain things, rejection, fear, distrust, trust and believe this is a reoccurring theme from past lives between you and this particular soul. So, you're going to have to work on releasing these negative emotions that are carried with this relationship that you have. In order for things to move on, you have to resolve those feelings and emotions that are attached, from past relationships. For those people that have a crush on somebody, are interested in somebody and they don't know, and you're like, well, why do I feel so deeply for this person? It could be because you guys were an item in one or more past lives, and you just can't get over that person. For those people that are in a relationship with somebody who's abusive to them, and they can't understand why they can't break that connection, because this is something that has just not occurred on this lifetime. It's happened in past lives. So you have to release that connection. You have to release that connection and that contract that you've made with that soul. Okay? And it's just as simple as, just stating that I release any past contracts that I made with this particular soul in past lifetimes, all into the present. If you're really trying to let go of this person, or let go of the emotions and situations that come up when you think of this person, or the present relationship that you're in. I feel like I'm just running my mouth, but ultimately I think you guys get what I'm trying to say, right? So the pain that you feel, all the other range of emotions that you feel pertaining to your love life, the love of your life right now, is because this experience has happened in more than one lifetime. Okay, so the distrust, being overly cautious, fear, rejection, anything that you go through with this particular person has occurred, in one or more lifetimes. All right. Next, what I'm going to get into, because I've just I'm going backwards, but I just feel the need to go through these cards like this. 4 Cups. All right, we've got 4 Cups, we've got 2 of Wands, and we've got the Fool card, right? So 4 Cups in the Rider-Waite deck, it usually represents boredom, not really being in tune anymore with especially the people around you, because there's just a sense of boredom, I'm over this, I need to move on. But this card in the Thoth deck represents luxury, right? It represents taking care of yourself to a whole different level. There's one thing to pamper yourself, but there's one thing to surround yourself with luxury mentality and luxury in physical manifestation. You know, personally, this really speaks volumes for me because I'm getting ready to look for a new car. And I'm not going to limit myself. I'm looking at, usually I wouldn't look at that up to date cars, 2019, 2018. Guess what? I'm looking. I'm looking. Um, I want the best. I want the best. I want the best for myself. I want the best for my kids, my significant other, people in my circle. I just want nice things in life. And so now is the time, for those of us that are having a good beginning of the year. There's been a lot of abundance. There's been a lot of prosperity, especially in my life. So now we're in a position, and you're in a position to go ahead and start living that luxury life that you want to live. You don't have to be in survival mode anymore. You don't have to, and I'm not saying, we don't have financial management and all of that. I'm just saying that you can finally allow yourself to have the better things in life that you wanted. You manifested it. You worked hard for it. And now we need to start understanding and implementing that I can live this luxurious life that I want to have. Stop feeling bad that maybe other people are not on your level. You can't feel guilty about what you've worked for in life. Right? You can't feel guilty about that at all. And don't allow nobody to make you feel guilty, right? And so, as far as a relationship is concerned, with this card, because there is a certain level of boredom that comes with this card. Not necessarily boredom, but a lack of passion. 4 represents being fixed, structured, stabilized. So, as far as relationship is concerned, there is a level of stability, structure, but there's a lack of passion. Okay, there's a lack of passion because there's just this everyday routine that we've got ourselves into. All right. And so, for those of us that like to be control freaks and have everything organized and structured and scheduled, with your relationship, you're going to have to let up a little bit. If you don't let up and add some type of spontaneity into the relationship, it's going to cripple it if it hasn't done so already. So for this month, ushering into the full moon, let's usher in some passion, some spontaneity into our relationship so that we don't lose our significant other, or, we don't start to just really lose a sense of, I don't know, just lose how we feel in our relationship. Like, lose that spark. That's the word I'm looking for. That spark in our relationship, right? The next card is the 2 of Wands. And this is called Dominion. And, this represents limits and boundaries on so many different levels. Knowing your own limits and boundaries, right? What you like, what you don't like. Just knowing who you are as a person. Your authenticity, who you are. Finding yourself, so to speak. As far as interaction with your significant other, learning your significant other's limits and boundaries, what they like, what they don't like, what they will accept, what they won't accept, and vice versa. This has to be reciprocated. If both parties in a relationship can't respect each other's limits and boundaries, why are y'all together? We get enough of bullshit from people outside of our home. We don't need nobody in our home disrespecting us and not acknowledging, our feelings and what we like and we don't like, and just continuously, habitually stepping over lines that shouldn't be crossed. Okay? So this definitely has to be reciprocated both ways as far as a relationship is concerned. Start respecting your partner, and your partner needs to start respecting you. Feel free to show this video to your partner. For those of us that go through things and their partner really doesn't want to hear anything, show them this reading and let them know, like, look, this has to be a two-way street. You know what I mean? And then on the level of creativity, of being a creator, of manifesting things that you want, you know, no, again, and this does tie into learning about yourself, learning about your skill set, what you're able to do, what you're not able to do, what do you want to learn, what are you willing to work on. All right, so in all ways, in every way, in all aspects, in all ways, shape, and form, limits and boundaries, your own boundaries, your significant other, learning about yourself, your skill set, and just and not only your significant other, but just respecting people around you. Respect your children, respect the people that you work with, and also command that respect. And I didn't say demand it, I said command it. You command respect, all right? But when you command respect, you also have to give respect. So let's keep that in mind as well. And the last card of the Thoth deck is the Fool. And the Fool represents embarking on a new journey. All right. There have been so many changes in my life, and I'm pretty sure there have been a lot of changes in your life. I don't even know at this point where I'm going. I'm just following the journey. I have no idea what's going to happen. And also the Fool represents, just moving forward in the midst of the unknown, right? Unknown, uncharted territory. And I feel like that's where I'm going. But I like it. I'm a very fearful person. I have a lot of anxiety when I take on new things or things that I am not comfortable with. But understanding that getting outside of your comfort zone is what's going to make you great. And I am understanding this. The more I get out of my comfort zone, the more I feel uncomfortable, the better I am at things for some reason, because that's how it's supposed to be. Once we get out of that comfort zone, we understand that, number one, you can do more than you think you can. And number two, it's not really that scary after all, right? Fear is really an illusion. It's an emotion. It's like a mechanism to help keep us aware, alert, make sure we don't hurt ourselves. But ultimately, if we're allowing fear to block us from achieving, manifesting, creating, succeeding, becoming our most highest self, that's an issue. Fear should not be controlling your manifestations or controlling your actions that are part of your goal-directed activity. So understand that there is a journey that you're embarking on. You will be going into uncharted territory that you have no idea what the fuck is going on. Trust your intuition, trust your ancestors, your spirit guides, and the deity that you choose to work with, and understand that there is a plan. It seems like we don't know what the fuck is happening, but we're moving directly in the right direction that we're supposed to be. All right? Stop allowing fear to lead you and let your faith lead you. Let your joy lead you. These things will help you manifest. They will help you succeed, and they will help you to push forward. All right? So the Fool is all about embarking on that uncharted territory. Also, let's not be naive. All right, let's make sure that we are understanding everything that's going on around us with the relationships that we have with people. Don't let people feed you the okie doke, tell you anything. Let's kind of make sure that we are not being naive in any situation that we are involved in or that is coming up, right? Don't let anybody feed you the okie doke, for sure, right? Any and all possibilities are open at this point as far as the Fool is concerned, right? And so the next card that I'm going to move on to is the Chakra card. And it's the color gray, and that represents crown chakra. And these cards have a story behind them, so let me read the story. Rejection, Ivory Tower. You no longer need to prove yourself. This is about understanding who you are and what you have created. Ivory allows others into your life. Choose wisely. Wow. So before I even go on, Notice the words understanding who you are, which I addressed with the Thoth card of Two of Wands, right? And what you've created, right? Joy is the ultimate creator. Make sure to have joy in your life to be able to create. So, here's the story. Ivory Tower, they won't use me. The artist is summoned for jury duty, but they won't use him. He doesn't fit their concept of what a juror should be. He paints pictures no one understands. He lives alone. They want somebody who will put himself in the other guy's place, but he will never do that. He doesn't get mixed up with anything or anyone. They honor his individuality when they invite him, yet when he appears, they reject it by not using him. Inspiration. You don't have to be on the inside track. Be true to yourself and you will not be unhappy. Rejection is spirit's protection. Oh. So there's another aspect of full moon in Virgo, right? Hypercritical. Rejection. And maybe somebody's doing that to you. And just like the card stated, sometimes it's better to be rejected than to be a part of something and it's not who you are. I have suffered from so much rejection from people in my life to the point where I was numb to it. I tried to hide the pain of being rejected from family, from friends, not even friends, just people. You know, I just never fit in. And looking at this card, I understand that it was for my own protection, right? So for those of you that felt like, you know, maybe you didn't get that job you wanted, maybe you didn't get that house you wanted or that car you wanted, you know, maybe that person that you liked just said, we can't do this anymore, it doesn't want to be with you. And we're looking at it as a negative instead of looking at, you know, what was I being protected from? So let's stop looking at rejection as a negative thing and let's look at it as spirit was protecting us from something that would have caused so much harm if we would have chose to walk along that path, right? Am I working with or against my environment? What is the purpose of my present solitude? For those of us that are loners, for the life of me, I just couldn't understand why I've been in solitude all of my life. For the last 4 years of my life, I've worked an overnight shift, 12 hours where it was just me. I had no contact with nobody. And then I would come home and wouldn't have contact with anybody. And I just couldn't understand for the life of me, why was I put in, I felt like it was in the Matrix. You know the part where he's in limbo, where Neo is stuck on that train and he just can't get out of that spot? Like that's how I felt. I felt like I was stuck in that subway, that train that Neo was stuck on and I couldn't get out of it. I was just stuck in limbo, in hiatus, right? You know, but after reflecting, there were things that I had to go through and learn about myself before I could even be around other people, right? And so you will be put in solitude. You will be made to learn about yourself. Like the Two of Wands says, right? You will be made to know about yourself, your limits and boundaries, what you're good at, what you're not good at. Spirit will sit you in solitude until you figure out about you. You start to learn about you. Key ideas: others' approval, unsupportive environment, working alone, arrival of a teacher. And this is something that I've had to deal with, others' approval, you know. Sometimes I say I don't care what others think, but deep down I do, and other people do too, you know. And so that's something that I'm still working on, and I'm good at acting like I don't care about others people's approval, but deep down inside I do, you know. And so that is something that I've been working on. I don't need people's approval to be me, right? And acceptance. I recently reconnected with family that I was not aware that I had through DNA search, and I've met them, and I just thought everything was going to be bliss. You know, we were all going to be connected and talk and stuff, and it's been crickets, and nobody's reaching out to me. And at first, I didn't like it. I didn't like the rejection. I didn't like not being acknowledged. But I'm like, fuck it. I can't force myself into somebody's life. If these people that I've met, that we share the same blood with, if they want to be involved in my life, well, they will make that opportunity. I'm not going to force myself. I'm not going to put myself in an unsupportive environment to appease anybody, to be somebody I'm not, or to be acknowledged from people that really are not concerned with me and my everyday affairs. So for those of you that feel that way, for those of you that are willing to put yourself in an unsupportive environment, you got to love yourself more than that. And it's not easy. None of these things that I'm talking about, I'm still working through these things as I'm doing this. Nothing is ever going to be easy, but at least acknowledge that these are things that you're going to have to work on and then go from there. The arrival of a teacher. And this is funny because I'm getting ready to go into the apprenticeship of someone, but definitely somebody is going to come, right? Under this full moon energy. Somebody's going to come and be a very big guidance or a very big teacher for you. And I hope that you acknowledge them or know it's them when they show up. Keywords: protection, exclusion, development. Meditation piece. Imagine divine ivory light filtering down and encircling you. In the distance, the ivory tower beckons. You reach the castle and the drawbridge slowly lowers. You enter the castle grounds and come to the tower. At the top of the stairs is a door. Inside is the place of no judgment. You have finally found your way home. All right, beautiful story. Love it. The last and final card that we have for this reading is that crystal healing card, and this is a beautiful malachite. And let me bring it closer so you guys can see how nice and beautiful that is. Look at that. Beautiful. Malachite is a very strong, high energy, high vibration crystal. And so let's see what we have here. Malachite, the subconscious mind. Malachite brings to light ingrained programming and toxic beliefs. So it brings to life ingrained programming and toxic beliefs. An amulet against pain. This is a powerful stone for emotional transformation. It stimulates the survival instinct. Unconscious programs. I'm sorry, my video ended. Unconscious programs or beliefs cause psychosomatic dis-ease. Go willingly into the depths. Therapy may be needed. Your deepest fears become your greatest gifts as hidden abilities come to light. Go where angels fear to tread to bring back insights for your own healing and that of others. Explore your depths. Danger threatens, not all as it seems. Stand firm in your power. Have no fear. You survive. Protect yourself against unseen forces or powerful minds that manipulate you. What did I say about the Fool card, about being naive? Let's be aware. Learn psychic protection. Take a course to call up past life skills. Spread your wings. Do not become embroiled with a charismatic man. Detoxify your mind, body, and emotions, and recognizing deep psychosomatic causes of disease are a path to well-being. Frequency: earthy to high, chakra, heart, base, sacral, and solar plexus. Timing: Scorpio. Scorpio deals with transformation. Soul path: transforming your subconscious mind. So if anybody knows me or has followed me, has gotten a reading from me, knows that I am big on reprogramming our subconscious mind. I talk about how societal structures, environmental structures, you had the way you were raised. There are so many different levels of social constructs that have been placed on us that we're going to have to break through in order to be able to reprogram your mind, destroy and rebuild. You're going to have to break down the matrix. For those of you that are listening, that conspiracy theories, let's start living in this leave it to beaver world and understand that this world may not be as lily as you want it to be. And that's not saying that we should always think that everything is bad or evil, but let's stop being naive and let's become aware of the world that we live in and understand that they are programming your mind. You don't even think for yourself. There are so many things that I could bring up that I'm not going to in this reading because it's just, I'm not going to go there. But There's so many different levels of programming. Television programming, right? With the media, the news, the music, even musical notes. The A chord, what is it? It's supposed to be 440 hertz, and in reality, it should be like 432 or something. Fact check that for me. I'm not 100% sure, but so work on destroying and rebuilding your subconscious mind by acknowledging things that you would normally think is not really happening to yourself and to others around us, right? And then you want to rebuild your subconscious by creating goals, writing down goals and stuff that you want to achieve, rituals, spell work, affirmations. All of these things can reprogram your subconscious mind. So all of these things, affirmations, setting goals, all of these things, oh, my phone is just going crazy. All of these things help. So I think that about wraps it up. This was very informative for me. If nobody else receives it or it doesn't help anybody, it helped me. But I'm pretty sure it helped somebody out there. So once again, I just want to appreciate you guys taking the time to listen to this video. Like I said, to have that energy exchange with me, I appreciate it. Thank you for those who are subscribed to me that watch this. If you are not subscribed, go ahead and go ahead and hit that button so you can receive notifications for when I drop videos and go live. And check out my links below. I have a GoFundMe for my daughter who's leaving out the country, and I'm raising money to help pay for her trip. And I also have a Patreon account, which is where I'm currently only providing tarot readings through my Patreon account, and I only have limited spaces, so check that out. All right, so this concludes my part 2 of Full Moon in Virgo. I hope it resonated with everyone, and I will see you next month. Deuces.